My parents and I spent 2 years observing the Manitous Pack in a vast protected area of northern Ontario. Many mysteries still surround these wolves. To find their traces, I will have to ask the trees for advice and travel within myself in order to deepen the sacred meaning of the wild world. The early spring allowed us to return to the land of the wolf at the beginning of April, but this year, we are lacking enthusiasm. After a very disappointing 2009, our expectations regarding the follow-up of the Manitous Pack are modest. Exactly a year ago, we caught a glimpse of White-Paws in the company of a gray wolf. Then, nothing. The Manitous have once again become ghosts, elusive spirits leaving very few traces of their presence in the territory. Impossible for us to see them despite our efforts. It is like they have all vanished. As we had to give up wolf watching in 2009, I focused my energy on writing and painting. In my opinion, art remains as important as science for approaching nature, because it offers an interpretation of the tangible and the intangible, of the visible and the invisible, of the rational and the symbolism. In the land of the wolf, each species plays a concrete biological role in the great community of the living. I also think that each one plays a certain spiritual role, and that can hardly be defined in words. We feel it deep inside. Trees, for example. We know that they absorb CO2 and release oxygen into the atmosphere. But they are perfectly capable of accomplishing other wonders. In the land of the wolf, I made friends among the white pines, a protected species that First Nations call Tree of Peace. Once they become giants, they can take our worries and doubts and then give us courage. We entrust our sorrows to the trees, and they guide us on the path of consolation. What comfort they bring me at the dawn of this observation season tinged with uncertainty. The encounter takes place beyond words, in a sacred space. The crown in the sky, the roots firmly anchored in the ground. The most powerful of the trees of peace listens to me. It probes my soul and my heart where clings my desire to reconnect with the Manitous Pack. The tree inspires me with the vision of a path leading to the Manitous, in an area so disturbed by recent logging that there we neglected to carry out research. According to the tracks, wolves move every day to the place designated by the Big Pine. The wolf who comes towards me has a familiar look. I recognize White-Paws. Her swollen teats and her big belly indicate that she is pregnant. The one we have been observing for several years has therefore founded her own pack on Manitous territory. Her family replaced that of Bigfoot, and this change happened in 2009, without us realizing it until today. A wolf pack is usually a family made up of a breeding pair and their descendants, who are free to leave or stay once adults. When one of the parents disappears, the stability of the group is threatened, and this often results in the appearance of a new family unit. It was obvious that the Manitous Pack had undergone a major transformation from which White-Paws had emerged victorious. There was no guarantee that the observation would be easier now that White-Paws held such an important rank in the pack. We absolutely needed her collaboration. It was at that moment I said to myself, if I can communicate with a tree spiritually, why not try it with a wolf? After an hour of being on the watch, here is finally the one I was hoping for. My heart filled with hope addresses her with respect. White-Paws, I need you. Allow me to know your family so that I can speak about it in truth. Help me to help yours. I make a sacred oath. If you open the door to your world to us, my parents and I will become the most fervent defenders of the people and the land of the wolves. Thank you for listening to me. Maybe it was just a coincidence, but the next day, White-Paws showed up with a 1-year-old female, probably her daughter we named Comey in memory of our beloved Como. Wolves were quite easy to spot in the young plantations, especially since a path of several kilometers ran alongside their daily journeys. The forest road ended in a dead end, in a strategic clearing where Comey and White-Paws came almost every evening. The den must have been nearby, because the mother wolf could give birth any day. Sometimes, Comey stood guard while White-Paws went to inspect the surroundings. Tonight, young Comey's wisdom is tested by the unexpected arrival of a porcupine. Biting this rodent armed with around 30,000 quills could inflict Comey with fatal injuries. She prefers to chase away mosquitoes. The snapping of her mouth alerts the porcupine, which adopts a defensive attitude. Comey resists the temptation to attack the porcupine. She has probably seen it before and knows how dangerous it is by instinct or experience. With its arsenal of quills, the third largest rodent in the Americas has few predators in the land of the wolf, and this makes it confident. Seasonal molting causes all mammals to itch. This is how life goes on, in the dead end clearing in spring. Whether on foot or in a vehicle, many places allowed us to keep watch on each side of the forest road leading to the dead-end clearing. To observe wolves, all we had to do was stay a good distance from their paths, in the middle of the plantations. After a week, White-Paws and Comey pay less attention to my presence. Beyond the plantations lie the muskegs that Como loves so much. All sense is on alert. The wolves are on the lookout for young beavers who have left the safety of the family pond to settle down and reproduce. They move carefully to go unnoticed. Teamwork, where each element of the decor is used to detect prey. Even though we knew White-Paws' den was nearby, we respected her secrecy and were content to film her only when she deigned to show herself. She had gained in stature since our first encounter in the fall of 2007. Over time, the fur of most adult black wolves becomes paler, especially on the muzzle, throat, cheeks, and legs. White-Paws must have been 5 years old when she became the new alpha female of the Manitous. Everything indicates that White-Paws gave birth to her new litter on April 29, 2010. She stayed with her pups for several days. We imagine the den in a secret corner of the forest. Intimate and precious moments that only concern the wolves. While waiting to learn more about the new Manitous Pack, we had lots of things to do at base camp, especially since the black bears were starting to prowl around. It was urgent that Raynald restarted our protection systems against bear intrusions. Studded carpet, electric fence. These devices have allowed us to avoid a lot of problems and conflicts with the bears, often attracted by the smell of our food. Apart from the bears, which we had to keep at bay, all other wildlife was welcomed near the base camp. All around there was love in the air in this beginning of May like no other. Nothing has changed in the Chubby's Bay. Our beaver friends seem in good shape and delighted to have access to new twigs filled with sap. A pair of otters risks to disturb the peace of the Chubbies. The lovemaking of these mustelids is surprising. Beavers and otters rarely get along well. When the pair approaches the patriarch, he must assert his right of ownership by sprinkling the rock with his musk. The otters understand the message and move away from the area claimed by the beaver. At this time of the year, the most aggressive characters in the bay are undoubtedly the common golden eyes. Scuffles break out as soon as a female arouses the desire of males. There was a lot of action in the Chubby's Bay, but our thoughts were with White-Paws, and we spent all our evenings keeping watch in the dead-end clearing. On the evening of May 3rd, we had a nice surprise. White-Paws had regained her suppleness, her athletic body. She was hurrying to go feed, probably where a member of her family had hidden the remains of a prey for her. We had never seen her in such a hurry to go somewhere. She left her pups reluctantly, driven by hunger. We stayed there hoping to see Comey or another wolf. None of this happened. After an hour, we witnessed the return of White-Paws. She took the time to sniff out a scent not far from our vehicle. Then she headed towards the den without paying attention to us. Some will think White-Paws had become accustomed to us, but my long experience with wolves leads me to think that it was much deeper than that. Our relationship was taking a turn that brought us closer to the sacred, and the events of the 2010 season would reinforce our conviction. In the next episode, we will learn more about the mother wolf's daily life. The challenge of feeding without straying too far from the den and the constant risk posed by black bears will be at the heart of White-Paws' concerns. We will discover with which faithful and courageous mate she founded the new Manitous dynasty, a large wolf to whom we gave the name Hiawatha. We will also meet some of the characters living in the region of recent plantations on the Manitous Pack territory, a start to the season not to be missed in the land of the wolf.
마흰근 기구나 미괴지만의 투 왜야해야해요 왜하야왜하야야야야해요 왜 너게 마흰근 왜하야해요 하야하야